Hello, and welcome back to my channel to a brand new AMA. I'm pleased to have the team of SHOCKWAVES, NEUROS, CEO and CTO of the team are joining right here. So, how are you guys? Welcome to my channel.
Hi, thanks
Hey.
for
Thanks for having us. Really excited to be here.
Awesome. So, why don't you guys start? I usually start like this on why don't you introduce the project, how SHOCKWAVES, NEUROS were born, and yeah, just give us some background information on everything to kickstart.
Yeah, of course. So we started video game in 2016. We are mostly a team of engineers, so we are passionate of innovation in video game and shaping the future of gaming. So at this time, virtual reality was like the new thing, and we was really interested in that. So we started to develop a lot of game with a huge focus on innovations, and we did some success and making game bigger and bigger and bigger until they became like just too big, and we didn't know what to invent more to push things forward. And at this point, we ask ourselves, what is the next frontier? Now that we did everything we wanted in VR, where is the future of gaming? And blockchain seems to have a lot of promise, to open a lot of doors, and to valorize a lot virtual the idea of virtual world. So it really interested us, but there was a lot to learn. So we started to work with our experience as game developer for other studio, and we really quickly became a little bit frustrated because we had a lot of ideas. Things start to build up really quick, and we have to put this idea to concretize them, and it's how we started SHOCKWAVES, because there is so many possibilities in blockchain gaming, and we want to do everything. We want to show how, with the technological knowledge that we have and the gaming experience, how we can bring all this together and build the perfect project for Web3.
Gotcha. And why don't you talk about the AI factor in your game? Because, there's so many gaming projects right now in the market. The market, it seems like it's a bit saturated compared to what the previous bull run was when it comes to gaming, right? But in terms of AI gaming projects, I haven't seen like many out there. So why the choice of diving into AI gaming specifically? And how does Shockwave differentiate from the other regular games out there? What's your selling point, let's say, so to speak?
Sure. I think one of the big parts of that is because we come from, like, initially we come from VR, and we've seen like some, in some relatively new markets, it's really, what attracts the most people the most is like usually online games, but also like the adoption is not as huge as it is in other, as like for like mobile gaming, etc. And so we knew from the start that it would be essential to have like AIs that kind of like also like play with other people, so that you always have a game full of players. And also what we thought is that usually they tend to just feel the game and they don't really take part of the economy and stuff, and we thought that it wouldn't really be ideal. And we thought that like basically what we wanted to do is having the AI agents as much as possible as real players. They play in a like very similar way according to the same rules as human players, and also they will earn some some rewards as they play, and these rewards will go to their owners. And so that's basically kind of the idea behind it, because what we thought is that it's essential for the viability of the game itself, and also it's really helps a lot the tokenomics. So they are like doing kind of a lot of things. They also interact in the chats. They play like people and etc. So I think that's that's an important part of what we're doing. We're using also AI in different aspects of the thing, like the music algorithm for like extracting like the data from the music, but like for the AI agent, I think is really the very central to the project, and I think it's what makes it really work. And I think that's kind of a missing part in a lot of crypto gaming projects.
Why don't you actually talk about the music aspect, because I found that very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think like one thing we noticed is that it's like we've done some kind of musical games also before, and really like the rhythm and like FPS, it's not something that has been really associated a lot. There's a few games that have done it, but we've done like a few partnerships like before with Deezer for some developments of music. It's like it's kind of like Spotify, and we've developed like a few things for that, and we really thought that it would be a great fit for a game, because there will be kind of partnerships opportunities within the community. It makes the game feel kind of more intense, more like a trailer. And
when we thought about the project, I mean, at the beginning, when the NFT, there was the first huge hype on the NFTs. What was the big sales that have been that really show how the market was important? We all heard about Justin Bieber, about Snoop Dogg's, and there was in the NFT universe, the musical aspect of the punk culture was really important. So when we closed our eyes and tried to visualize what would be the perfect game, it was evident that it has to implicate music.
Gotcha. Interesting. And you were mentioning about the NFTs. So why don't you talk about the NFT collection? You just showed me why don't you talk a little more about this?
I think we, as I said at the beginning, we are really a team of engineers, and we see the technology as tools that we can transform in toys. And actually, there is so many. When we looked on what exactly is the NFTs, there is in reality so many possibilities that you can't imagine if you don't know what it means, the technology they used. And for example, you can select one of the NFTs, and you will see something that is really special. Any they are like loading, and now when will have finished to load, you will have an interactive experience. So now if you click on the character, you can turn it and see him on all the direction, but you can go deeper in it. You have embodied into the NFTs a full multiplayer and playable experience. So actually, this is the maze. It was a little DeFi that we proposed to the community. The first to find the center of the maze will win a special agent. And it's not something that is really central into the project, but it's mostly define what is our approach. Our approach is to use everything that can be used to make something new that has never been done. Because we think that it's important for many things, but the most important thing is the marketing. We truly believe that what will bring high spotlight on the project is innovation, because we want to speak to persons who are really passionate by the NFT world, by the crypto world, and we know that in general, what really excites this kind of people is when you push the limit. And it's why even if it's not central in the NFTs, in these NFTs, we wanted to make them really unique, just to give you a window on what will become the Web3 in the future.
Gotcha. Interesting. Is this your only NFT collection, or you have more than this, right?
Absolutely. There is more than them. There is the Sentry Turret. All our NFTs have their own interactive experience.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of tests. We do small collections too. So, but everything have its own interactive experience into the NFT, but they also have their own utility into the game. But for
Gotcha. Can
example,
you?
this is
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
no.
No, I was curious to hear about the weapons, how they're integrated into the game. Can somebody like buy and sell like the weapons in a marketplace, right? Like here to other
So
players?
yeah, so like these weapons. I mean, these were like initially given to our stakers.
Yeah. Okay.
This collection, but like for the X-ray guns, and later on there will be like others that will be given like that. But also there are some that you earn in the game. So basically, when you play the game, you get loot boxes. If you open them,
Yeah.
you get like items like weapons, and we're like like and you'll be able to mint them as NFTs. And these you'll have like you'll be able to exchange as much as you want on OpenSea or any platform for that. And
Awesome.
so yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Awesome. That's really interesting. I think that this is kind of like the future of gaming, like putting as NFTs and all these things. I think it's definitely very very good stuff, and kudos to you for that. And coming to some of the questions that I have, of course I have a lot, and I'm sure that the audience will have a few. What's your plans for 2024? How does 2024 look for Shockwaves?
Yeah, so there is many things we want to do now. It's the first things is integration with broadcaster because we really see the Web3 gaming. There is a lot of aspect, but one of the most interesting is the relation with the user and what are the benefits they want to take from the game, and from that you can't really separate Web3 gaming from esport, because basically what people want in esport is a reward for their skills and great visibility for the one who want to go in the stream. But esport stream, everything works together. So we are working actually on a system that will enable people who stream Shockwaves to drop NFTs, and it will be the first NFTs drops from a streaming streaming platform, and it's something we think will really help to give visibility to the game, but also help the people who stream the game to grow their audience, because people, of course, viewers, they are looking for stream that rewards them. So it's a really new concept, and we are really happy to be the first to push it. So it's something that should come early this year, just after we finish what we call the door 3 and the door 4. So the next big update will be door 4, where the asset that you win in the game will be mintable. And after that, there will be a door 5, where the AI agents that play themselves in the game will be able to earn for you NEUROS, which is the in-game currency you can use to open the loot boxes, for example. So this is the first steps of 2024, and after that we're gonna have what we call the loot box V2, which are legendary and epic loot boxes that will give you new content, new weapon, for example, the melee weapons, but more kind of stuff, really unique, that you're gonna have just in the legendary and epic loot boxes. Oh, and something I just remember it, but we want to announce that we're gonna be in the NFC conference in Lisbon at the end of May. It's going to be the first exposition room for the game, and we're gonna have some discount places for the community. So if anybody want to join the NFC in Lisbon at the end of May, don't hesitate to come to us on Telegram and Discord, and we're gonna be really happy to organize a meeting with you during this amazing week. We're gonna give more details, of course, to the community in the next days, but it will be the occasion to to make a party for the first year of the project, because actually we just started it 10 months ago since the ICO.
Awesome. That's great news. And let's see. Other questions that I have. So you mentioned a little bit how the game economy works. Do you want to clarify a little more? I've read about it before. All the people that are new to the project, you mentioned that X Neuros is actually the currency in the game. So
Yes.
that is off the chain, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you expand on that for the viewers that are not aware of this?
Sure.
Yeah.
So basically, the system. What we want to do is to have the game basically that gives a utility to the token, and that doesn't really distribute too many tokens. Basically, because like often that's kind of one of the common pitfalls of like some GameFi projects is basically the game people receive tokens and they kind of just sell it, and that's not really something very productive. And what we wanted to do is basically and it's already in place and it's working. People are doing it. Is when you play the game, you get some you get some X Neuros and you get some loot boxes. To open the loot boxes, you need to spend some X Neuros. So it costs 300 depending on the type of loot box, but you don't get that many X Neuros as you play. And so if you want to open all the loot box you get, what you'll need to do from time to time is to basically deposit some Neuros. And these Neuros, once you deposited, like you transmuted it into X Neuros, basically you have the Neuros, which is our token on BNB and on the blockchain. You transmute it, so you send it basically to a smart contract, and and from the game it will increase your balance of that token, and then you can use it to open the loot boxes. And what it allows is that you don't have to do a transaction every time you want to spend something in the game. So you just want to open the loot box. You don't want to have to go to your wallet, everything like that. You just do it, once in a while. You add like $20 or whatever into the game, and then you can use it as much as you want. And this is kind of a one-way process where this token will just go to a smart contract, will actually burn part of it, and yeah, I think so. And so in the end, I think it's pretty good way to it gives a good utility to the token. What people earn in the game, there are X Neuros and not directly the token. But in tournaments, you will get Neuros. But so you just get it during the tournaments, and usually most of the time you get the X Neuros. And the items that you have, you can mint them into NFTs, and you get in the loot boxes, you can mint them into the NFTs, and then you can earn from selling them on the markets to people like on OpenSea, etc.
Gotcha. All right. Why I want to get to some of the questions from the audience, and then maybe I'm gonna shoot some questions in the end if we got some time. So, Selflix asks, what are your plans for marketing this project?
I mean, I think that like we have quite a lot of ways to do it. I mean, there are kind of like the standard ones through Twitter's marketing, etc. But also we want to kind of use innovation as a way to do marketing, because that's what we are really good at. So one of the big aspects for it is like the drops on Twitch, kind of rewarding people who watch videos, rewarding streamers in kind of ways that are really completely new. Also things like we do for the NFTs, having them kind of being interactable, etc. Also, these are kind of part of our marketing efforts. Just basically, we try to kind of have get the game seen, like the project discovered by people, but also we want it to stick to people, so they feel like, okay, that's really so that people can understand the cool parts about it and try to make it as interesting as possible.
Yeah, and actually we are experimenting some new things. So the NFC conference in Lisbon should be. We're gonna see what will be the impact if we're gonna do this kind of event. We are still we are testing everything right now because we really knew how to do marketing in VR. We are performing pretty well in crypto, but we know that there is a huge potential that we need to try and see how things react.
Gotcha. A question that definitely was on my list. Why don't you have centralized exchange listing so far?
So yeah, that's a good question. I think what we started with a DEX only approach. So basically, we launched our project on CDFI. We're only on PancakeSwap.
Yeah.
That was kind of we were like basically we planned to develop the game as well as possible. One thing that was kind of our purpose from the beginning is to be able to we wanted to make sure that we would be able to launch with the budget we got. And sex listings tend to be really expensive, so that's what we were like a little bit we wanted to basically deliver and then have a good product and being like, okay, now we have something really good, and then we could see like with the centralized exchanges. But I mean, things might come in the future. We're actually talking to centralized exchanges and stuff, major ones. And so we'll see. We don't want to announce anything because we cannot.
We really wanted to have a product before going on a centralized exchange, because we want the value to come from somewhere, not just from the hype. So it's why we found that if we started with centralized exchange, even and not with the product, it will be just a token, but with no utility, one more token without anything. So now that we are going with something real, centralized exchange start to make really sense.
Gotcha. So, I mean, from my understanding, based on what you're saying right here, you want to really perfect your product and have like a fungible product for people to be like, wow, this is great, before you get exposure to a centralized exchange. Is that what I meant? Yeah.
For us, product comes first, and and marketing and all the rest comes second, because all this stuff, they need the product. The more you have a product, the more they are efficient. So it's a really a good investment to start from the product.
Gotcha. Is there any timeline on the back of your head in which you're going to be able to actually list on a centralized exchange?
We've been the exact timeline.
There is no exact timeline, because we can't announce anything. We want to go it, but all this stuff, they when you manage a crypto project, I don't know if people know it, but the backstage is quite chaotic. Not in the development part, but all the relation with when you discuss with a centralized exchange, you don't have a normal process. Everything is really, it's more like fighting in Gotham City. If you want to have an idea, so it's always really difficult. And strangely, the bigger is a partner, the more strange is the relation. So it's always difficult to announce timeline when things are not completely signed. So because everybody moves so fast. So of course we're gonna make an announcement when we're gonna have a date. But before you have a date, you don't have a timeline usually in crypto.
I see. Gotcha. We'll take what you said. Definitely, that's enough. Does the game have a ranking system?
Yeah. So right now there is not like a ranks directly. That's something we're considering adding into the game. There are like leaderboards where you have basically top scores. We do like tournaments, which are very competitive. Usually, when we try to join a tournament, we just get wrecked by players who are way better than us right now, because some people are being really good, but we don't really have a ranking system within the stuff.
We already have a data system where you can see how many headshots, what is your kill ratio. We have all the data. We just need to put them into a proper ranking system, but it's on the roadmap.
Gotcha. The AI agents talk in the chat, have their own personalities, and will buy equip their own gear with the X NEUROS they earn themselves. Interesting. The more they play, the better they get. Very innovative. That sounds very interesting. Do you want to maybe expand a little on this, because I find it very interesting?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Wolfman is like one of the main core community member. And yeah, so yeah, what it says is exactly on point. Is basically the better, these AI agents, they all have like a potential, which is basically a value which they can evolve to, and yeah, we wanted really to be like human, like as much as possible like human players that evolve, that get weapons, that participate in the economy. And yeah, I think that's really exactly that.
At the end, we want people to don't be able to make any difference between human and these AI agents, and we think it can be really a first in a video game, and it can be the key for any niche market that still need mass adoption.
Gotcha. Let's see. Is it hard to find the center of the maze in a mini game?
It's really difficult. I think it took a while actually. We made it like we released it with like the challenge to find a center for like we tried for. I mean, I tried it for without knowing the solution for like 1 hour.
It looks like a mini game, but if you know the road, it takes 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So
just someone found it. It took like a couple of days for someone to find it. So it was really like that person really earned this epic agent. So that was.
We are considering putting a new mini game into the AI agents in a few weeks. We're gonna tell you. There are gonna be new animation soon in them.
Awesome. Interesting. Do you have any plans to make NEUROS a mobile game on both Android and Apple in the future?
So that's something we could do. I mean, so right now, basically what we're trying to do is, as much as possible, focus on one market. Like we want to really nail it on PC, being as good as possible there. And with the engine we use, the way kind of the game is quite optimized in some ways for it. So it would be possible to translate to mobile. But since it's like a shooter game, usually it's kind of the primary. There's like really a big target on PC, and we feel like the integration is a bit smoother for the crypto on PC. So that's where we want to start. We want to really, it's kind of our approach also for the developments and for like the centralization and stuff. We kind of want to try to nail it and like the basics, do the basics as good as possible, like one platform, really good, and having players and stuff, and then we'll be able to kind of translate it to other platforms. That's what's the best course of action.
Because in the development, the more platform you have, the slowest is building, testing, and all this stuff. And if you diversify your number of platforms too soon in your development, you can like arrive in a black hole timeline where you can't produce anything, and it's a common trap, because when you have a Web3 project, you want to be everywhere, you want to announce every time new platforms and stuff like that, but in reality it's what can kill a project. So we prefer to really finish well what we started, and we think will be something unique somehow, and making really well, and after diversify it.
Gotcha. Awesome. Let's see. We have maybe last few questions. Any timeline on door 4 or door 5?
Good question, Wolfgang. So yeah, that's a good question. What we plan to do initially is like basically the door 4 is the tokenization of the items. What we've noticed is that people got a lot of relatively quite a lot of weapons, which is normal, but they tended to have like a really big collections, and we need to have like a system for people to basically scrape these weapons that they don't need. So let's say you get 10 weapons, some are like really epic or legendary or something, and you have some common ones. You just want to get rid of the common ones and maybe get a few tokens. So we saw a few NEUROS for that, and so that's why we want to basically do at least plan this part at the same time as we do the door 4, which is the tokenization. So that's why it like slowed it down a little bit, just to make sure that everything fits well together, and we can people can destroy the items, and it doesn't really have there's no exploit, or there's no kind of glitch between all the stuff.
But we are aiming to have finished all of this for the 1 year of the project.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be before, but it will be done the first May. You will have all of this already.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome. How many team members do you have, and what are your areas of responsibility?
So in our team, we have
something that is really special, I think, in our project is somehow we are like the leader. Benji is CTO and I'm CEO, but everybody really put his hand in the game. So I'm, for example, Benjamin is the main game designer of the project, and I'm the main infographist. So we really take it allows us to take all the decision around the project with taking in consideration the graphical communication and technical aspect. And after that, in the core team in the office, you have another crypto engineer, which is really amazing, which is named Quentin Lapon de Pin. And he is really really great. He's the one who allows us to make the playable NFTs because he did a research project on that a few years ago. And after that, there is I have to name of course David, which is our business, mainly the business developer, and is a lot in touch with the community. And we have some infographists in the project. All the rest is like, freelance people who are going around for the sound design, some 2D asset, but the established core team is us 5, and after we have everybody manage half-time people.
Gotcha. All right, so this is pretty much it for the questions from the audience. Anything else that we haven't touched and you want to talk about?
Yeah, I take the occasion to invite you again in NFC in Lisbon. We hope we'll meet some of you, and it's always a pleasure to meet people from the community. And I think you have seen there is the new community manager, which is Samster. And it's really cool because he's in Lausanne near the office. So we can have a lot of talk, and he can ask us a lot of questions of the community directly. So we are always looking for a way to be more near from people from the community. So it will be the occasion it could be the occasion to meet. And I just wanted to insist about around that one last time.
Awesome. So thank you so much, guys. This was awesome. This was very informative. I'm glad that you took some time to come here. I thank you kindly. And guys, of course, I invite you to check out Shockwaves and NEUROS. So thank you so much, guys. See you in the next one.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you.